Hey, welcome. I'm Professor Gomez, and today I'm covering a topic that is really controversial. And the purpose of this video is to raise general academic awareness of certain linguistic, legal, and social political arguments against the widespread use of the expression illegal alien, undocumented alien, unauthorized worker, you name it. There are so many labels that we constantly have to hear in the news when we read the newspaper, and it's really important for us to know how to be political correct or how to embrace this label the proper way and not insult our migrant community in the US. There's an estimate between 11 to 12 million of migrants who have entered the US without proper documentation, and I'm going to be using the word proper, meaning that they have not been issued any documents by the US government. So they're hiding and they're working here with no US documentation. Now, it's really important to understand because when we use the word undocumented workers, most of the times these people come with documents. They come with their own passports, they have their own birth records, but from their countries. Maybe with that, we are not being very specific and say that, hey, they don't have any US documentation and they have not been yet processed by the US. So that's why these labels become very obscure, very confusing, and very complex. Even though the phenomenon of unauthorized migration has existed for over a century, this is something that we have seen from the beginning of this nation, migration from all over the world into the US. From the Chinese Exclusion Act to the national origin quota system has historically played a role in constructing categories of racial difference that have served to exclude those not considered white or white enough from the US. So the terminology adopted by migration researchers, journalists, government officials really differs substantially as we see it all the time, and that's how we get confused. The argument by those in the US who are trying to restrict immigration are in favor of using the term illegal alien because that is the technical legal term. If you look at the United States Code, Title 8, Section 1365B, an illegal alien is any alien whose most recent entry into the U.S. was without inspection, or two, whose most recent admissions to the U.S. was as a non-immigrant. And so you have A and B. You can read this. Many news organizations today try to avoid the illegal alien term. In 2013, the Associated Press were the first one to drop the illegal immigrant, and they start using non-authorized or undocumented. According to Paul Colford, who's the spokesperson for the Associated Press, he said that the illegal term should be used to describe actions, not people, and he continued to say that he's now counseling journalists against using illegal alien, except when there is a direct quotation made by somebody else. We know that labels have the power to divide. These labels come with various associations of values, judgments, which can in turn frame and influence political debates, as we saw it with Donald Trump when he was running for his political campaign, as he labeled Mexicanos as criminals. Now you're criminalizing migrants without not knowing if they have committed a crime. Therefore, media and political figures are powerful actors who can influence public opinion. They create prejudice and shape people's opinions, especially in case of socially sensitive issues like immigration. So undocumented immigration is one of the main weapons used in the political campaigns of extreme right-wing parties, not only in the US but also all over the world. So, as I mentioned, the impact of the media in promoting a predominant terminology cannot be underestimated. A brief review of the US press, which can be regarded as one of the most powerful instruments for promoting Popular terminology in the English language reveals that newspapers consistently adopt and advocate for the expression illegal immigrant or alien over undocumented migrant. And also, if you're watching Fox News versus CNN, you're going to see how they use different terminology. The main criticism that I have of the word illegal or illegal alien is based on the fact that only an act can be illegal or criminal. It is the act that falls under the provisions of the penal code. It's something that you did that is illegal, killing, robbing, but humans, in the sense, cannot be labeled as illegal. So the new immigration bill that was sent by Biden administration to the Congress to legalize millions of immigrants living in the U.S. without authorization will remove the term alien from the U.S. law and replace it with non-citizen. So that's really important to understand. The terms or labels we use to refer to different groups of people are never impartial descriptions. We need to understand that these labels influence political debates and opinions. They also carry with them implicit ethical judgments about how to structure and change our world. How we should describe different classes of immigrants will depend partly on more broadly and what we envision justice in immigration to be.